Blood 27. Back to her. Blood of a demon. Ojo-sama, would your parents be proud of you as you are now? I popped the P's there a little bit. Marzovis's words are still reverberating through my head. To me, those words bring about a shock like I'm being hit with a blunt weapon. When I tried to think back on things, I became aware that my recent behavior had become erratic. I would use charm to abduct boys and devour their blood. If the me from the previous life saw this, such scenes would make her faint. Despite that, such actions didn't even leave much of an impression on me. As if it was completely natural, I committed these deeds without my self-awareness. Without any self-awareness. Thinking back on it, it was abnormal. But despite that, even though I'm self-aware of that abnormality, even now, I don't have any particular feelings for my actions. Those abnormalities were normal. Before I knew it, my body and even my heart too had been reduced to a vampire. When I think about that, I become somewhat sad. It's like I cannot return to being human anymore. Conversely, I could say, however, that in the end, it's only to the degree that I was somewhat sad. I should stop taking breaks. Since I fought the Kijin. What? Since I fought that Kijin, one day has passed, and I returned to the academy. What is... Okay. At the academy, the incident is being called the act of a mysterious monster, and that appearance and the abilities of the monster are unknown. All the witnesses apart from me had been killed anyway, and there are no longer any traces of the battle in the forest. I can only think that the Kijin was destroyed by some unimaginable might. At the academy, it's established that I exterminated the demon. That's half right and half wrong. It's true that I fought the Kijin, but the one who defeated him is likely that Kuro, who is the same kind as Goshujin-sama, since he handled me as easily as breathing. It's certain that the Kijin that I was fighting equally with also suffered the same fate. I don't know what happened to that Kijin afterwards. Merely that Goshujin-sama warned me not to say anything stupid. However, based on what I hear at the academy, I realize that somehow or other Goshujin-sama has intervened to distort the facts. That being the case, then if I asked Goshujin-sama, I should be able to find out what happened to that Kijin. However, I've been unable to ask. When I have no business with her, Goshujin-sama will just suddenly appear. What? But at times like this, I can never get a hold of her. Oh, right, yeah. That's because, although she's a spider, she wanders around whimsically like a cat. Thanks to that, I'm at my wit's end. In addition, Marzovis's words, like something persistently stuck between your teeth, leaves me unsettled. Would my parents be proud? To my human parents, there's no way that they would be proud of how I am now. I am a vampire. My way of thinking and my values, even my way of life, are all different. Something like being proud to be human has been thrown away long ago. Even then, it was without any kind of deep feeling, almost as casually as trash would be thrown away into a rubbish bin. So much so that it hadn't been pointed out to me. If it hadn't been pointed out to me, I wouldn't even have realized it. However, I changed now that I've realized it. I now clearly realize the difference between a human and a vampire. I realize it completely. Sophia, apparently you defeated a terrible monster. You're amazing as ever. The Prince of the Academy, Waldo, bestowed me with those words of praise. Normally I would have simply said thank you, spontaneously. However, today I cannot do that. Ojo-sama, would your parents be proud of you as you are now? As if like a rumor that can't be shut out by closing your ears, Marzovis's words echoed distinctly. At the same time that happened, I casually appraised Waldo, and written in his status abnormal conditions was the word charm. I feel nauseous. I couldn't help turning my back on Waldo and breaking into a run, although the way many people I recognized also called out to me. Each time the nausea got even worse. I dived into the toilets and shut myself away. Though I felt nauseous, the only thing that came out from my mouth was a muffled groan. After a while, I got control of my mouth and leant against the toilet wall. This is nostalgic somehow. I had never done this in my current life. In my previous life, I had often taken refuge in the toilets like this. Though because the toilets had pointlessly strong-smelling perfume, it made my mood even worse, and it wasn't a place I particularly wanted to take refuge in. I couldn't help it since there was nowhere else I could seek refuge in. Just what am I doing? I was reborn and I have changed. I have become so beautiful that my ugly appearance in my previous life is hard to believe. My grades at the academy are always at the top. The things that were unobtainable in my past life have been obtained entirely. Maybe that's why I have changed all too much. This existence of mine has almost no traces left of the former human known as Negishi Akiko. The only thing remaining is my envy towards Goshujin-sama. The fact that remains, as if it's emphasizing my own ugliness. I can't laugh even if I wanted to. Ugly. As I am now, when judged by the human value system, I'm a monster that's ugly from the bottom of my heart. But despite that, I carried everything out calmly, without a fragment of guilt, without any doubt. I accepted it as a matter of course. That was as a result of it being natural for a vampire. As a vampire, I think that I am now. I think as I am now is entirely correct. That this is an everyday occurrence for a vampire. In practice, this was actually an everyday occurrence. Ojo-sama, would your parents be proud of you as you are now? At least until Marizofus asked me that. Pride? What is pride? After all this time, what can I say I'm proud of? If my parents were still alive, what would they think looking at me now? All the servants who were sacrificed in order to let me escape, how would they see me? When I considered that far, I impulsively pulled out my elongated canine teeth. The sweet taste of blood spread through my mouth. To think that my own blood is tasty, I'm finally finished as a human. I hurl away my canines into the middle of the toilet. However, the next moment new canines have grown out, returning like never before, as if to deny the very fact that I had pulled them out, as if they're telling me that I can never return. I stare in a daze at the canines that I had pulled out. When I shouldn't even consider being able to live as a human anymore, just what is pride for then? I don't know. I just don't know. If it was going to be like this, I'd rather never have gained self-awareness. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Oni person. Okay, cool. Yep. I'm sorry. It's a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm sorry. I keep I called it taking breaks. I think it's been a couple days since the last one. My bad. Things are different. Things are weird. I don't know. I'll get back to Deprived eventually for those who care. Maybe. Maybe not.